What is up, you guys? So, if you guys barely subscribed to me, you might not know about this, but if you have been with me since the beginning, or if you check out my channel, or like all my videos, you'll know that there was a GTA 5 movie I did back in February 2014. It was called What Happens in LS or Los Santos Stays in Los Santos. And if you guys haven't seen it, I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's basically about two, I think it was 2 and 3. Three teenagers who go on heists. This was before Heist came out, by the way, so it was only stores, and they almost got arrested, but they managed to get away. And now you might be wondering, why am I talking about this? Because I am working on the second part, or the sequel of it. Because part 1 was about the teens, and now the story of part 2, which I'm going to be telling you guys about, is pretty cool. It's actually how, if you guys remember, it was Jake, but it wasn't Jacob, the one that usually comes on my Extinction videos from back then. It was actually Jess playing the character Jake, and the story goes in part 2 that our character, the main one, which not really sure, I haven't seen the video in a while, what his name was, but in the second part he changes his name to Mike, or that was already his name in the first one. But the story is Mike loses his friend Jake, and then the third one, which I'm not really sure what his name was either, because it was back in 2014. As I said, we're early 2015. It's been a long time, but basically Jake, he gets arrested and has to stay in prison for 13 years, but Mike never got caught. So 10 years passes after the first one, and ever since after part 1, it wasn't shown in the movie, but Jake actually gets arrested, and he serves 13 years in prison. 10 years later, Mike is ready to break him out after making a plan for 10 years, trying to look for people to help him, and surprisingly, he actually finds somebody who also went through the same thing, losing their friend by getting arrested. They did the exact same thing, and I don't want to have to make a clip at the beginning, so if you watch this video before the movie comes out, good for you. Hit that like button right now, and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, Isaac is going to be the new character that we see in the sequel of What Happens in LS Stays in LS. And basically, him and Mike meet again in Los Santos. Well, not again, but they meet in Los Santos on the pier after a sort of cinematic intro, what happens in the beginning, about Mike explaining what happened with Jake and all that. And they're basically going on heist also. We have not found out Isaac's name yet, or I think we have, but I haven't remembered. We haven't recorded it in a while, even though we started about in this month. I don't think we're sure what Isaac's name was yet, but my name was Mike in the movie, and they're basically working together to get their friends out of prison, even though Isaac, or his character, his friend comes out in 20 more years. So what they're trying to do is break him out, and it's going to be really hard, but the way we're going to do it is we're going to find 2 more people to help. Maybe Brandon might come back, but the story with Brandon, if you guys remember, he came out as the third teen, the third one. He actually played the third teen, and it sounds like I'm saying 13, but I'm saying third teen. he might come back because the story with his character was that after he heard Jake got arrested, he didn't want to get arrested with Mike either, so he went to Liberty City, which we got the idea from GTA 4 because this is in GTA 5. But he moves to Liberty City after he hears that his friend Jake and Mike are good, except for Jake, because Jake has 3 more years in prison. He decides to come back and help the new character and Mike break Jake out of prison. But sadly, the reason Jess isn't going to be in the sequel is because his mic doesn't work, so he can't talk, and the only way for him to sort of communicate with us is by sending us messages. So I still haven't asked Jess if it was fine if we can sort of take him out for the second part unless he gets a mic and comes out later in part 2, which we haven't planned out yet. But for the meantime, if Jess can come back, he's going to be replaced by Isaac. And again, Brandon's coming back. We're not sure if Jess is going to rejoin us. Hopefully he can get a mic. I'll try to contact him whenever I can. And basically that's it. The way we're going to do the scene where we break Jake out of prison is we're going to use the prison break heist. But we're not going to record the setups. We're going to record the final heist where you get the prisoner out, and we're going to pretend like that's Jake. I'm going to pretend 5 years passed, and Jake finally gets to how he used to be. So, anyways, you guys, that has been a little update on what happens in LS, stays in LS, the sequel. And I'll see you all in that little movie, and I'll see you all next time.